Still deciding which sales CRM to go with? Before you waste days testing and trialing different softwares, here is what Pipedrive, my sales CRM of choice, can and can't do. In this video, I'm going to answer 10 questions to help you decide if Pipedrive is the right fit for your business. Number 1, what is Pipedrive? Well, first and foremost, Pipedrive is a sales CRM. It is a tool that sales teams use to keep track of the sales opportunities that you are currently working on, prospects you're following up with that you're trying to close. It's great if you currently use a spreadsheet or maybe a mail plugin, and now you're looking for a better system to manage your follow-up and track your sales. It does everything you need in a CRM. Now, perhaps not everything you want, and I'll come back and talk about that in a little bit, but it performs all the major functions that a CRM has to have. For instance, it's where you can keep track of your sales opportunities, or what we call deals, and see where they are at each stage of your sales pipeline. It's where you can keep your notes, emails, documents, and key information, which we can store in custom fields, all in one place. It's where you can send follow-up emails using pre-written templates. It's a great tool for making sure you stop losing track of the quotes that you've sent. It's where you can send contracts and request e-signatures. You can use it to manage your follow-up using activities or automate follow-up using sequences. It's great for keeping track of deals that you've won or deals that you've lost and why. It's great for sending email newsletters or campaigns. You can connect your website inquiry form and have new leads go directly into your CRM. It's where you can track performance and understand what's working and what's not, and so much more. And I can honestly say, since using Pipedrive, I have been able to grow my business, get more customers, and close more deals using this CRM. Number 2, what does Pipedrive cost? Like most CRMs, you pay for Pipedrive on a per user, per month, or annual basis. And you can choose which plan to get based on the level of functionality and features that you need. So right now, these are the monthly prices per user. You do get a better rate if you pay upfront for the year. So if you are going to commit to Pipedrive, I recommend going annually. And in terms of which plan to get, it obviously depends on how much you need out of the CRM. Most of our customers get either the growth plan to start with, which is going to let you connect your email and build automations. But once you get going, I really do recommend the premium. It has all the key functionality you need. It has the new AI functionality as well. That's really the one to get if you want to get the most out of Pipedrive. There are also some add-ons you can purchase if you want to buy additional functionality to do things like track website traffic, build and create smart docs and request e-signatures, send email campaigns. You can add on these extra features if you need them. And you can request a quote for your Pipedrive subscription from Mineco by purchasing your licenses through us as a Platinum Pipedrive partner. We will give you a discount on these retail prices, plus we will be able to offer you some complimentary support as your Pipedrive support partner. So who is Pipedrive meant for? Well, I always say Pipedrive is great for any B2B direct sales type process. So if you are getting leads, you have to qualify them, work out what the prospect needs, you're then sending some kind of quote or proposal, and then you need to follow up to close the deal. If that's roughly what your sales process sounds like, then Pipedrive is a great fit for you. We've helped onboard customers from all sorts of industries. We've worked with people who work in real estate, web, digital, or marketing agencies, consulting companies, any kind of professional service firm. Think about accountants, lawyers, people who are selling software, even brokers. If you work more in B2C sales and you are selling consumer products, you probably won't use Pipedrive, unless you're actually trying to track the distributors or retailers that you want to sell your products into, in which case Pipedrive would be a great fit. Number 4, what are Pipedrive's strengths? Well, clients that we've onboarded to Pipedrive who have often come from other CRMs tell us all the time that Pipedrive is the most intuitive, easy to use CRM. Now, I know other CRMs are probably going to make that same claim, but in the case of Pipedrive, I actually believe this to be true. If you don't believe me, request a quote from us. We will be able to get you started with an extended trial of Pipedrive. Give it a go and you will see exactly what I mean. Now, while Pipedrive is not the cheapest CRM on the market, it is by no means the most expensive either. I actually think the price is really fair and reasonable, considering the intuitive design and the powerful functionality you get with this CRM. It's easy enough to get started, to customize on your own, and very quickly you can actually see how it will start to help you to be more efficient and close more deals. Okay, what about weaknesses? Well, the first thing that comes to mind is Pipedrive is not as customizable as some CRMs like Salesforce. One example of this is you can't create custom objects in Pipedrive. But to be honest, it's not really something that most businesses need anyway. Pipedrive is also not industry specific. It's an off-the-shelf CRM that you can customize for your sales process, but depending on your work and the industry you're in, you may find a CRM that is more tailored to your industry and how you sell. And finally, there are some features like the built-in scheduler that are a bit weak, in my opinion. We prefer to use Calendly, which is a purpose-built scheduling tool that's just more appropriate for us. So how does Pipedrive compare to other CRMs like Zoho, HubSpot, or Salesforce? Well, firstly, and I've said this before, but it really is very easy to use, which I cannot understate how important that is, because the reason most sales CRMs fail is because the sales team who actually use them don't use them. They're not easy to use. Whereas with Pipedrive, it was designed by salespeople for salespeople. It was designed to be very intuitive and very quick and easy to input information. And the more up-to-date the CRM is, the more useful it is, the easier it is to help you with your follow-up, and the more accurate and reliable the reporting. Pipedrive is also one of the more affordable CRMs, especially compared to some of these other big players, and you don't need a developer to customize it. A lot of our customers get started on their own, or they choose to engage us for help if they get stuck, but you can actually just get started setting it up by watching our YouTube videos. Number 7, what does Pipedrive integrate with? Firstly, it has great native integration with Google Workspace and Microsoft 365. This means you can sync your email, so you can send and receive emails using your Gmail or Microsoft email natively from Pipedrive. You can also sync your calendar, so if you schedule a follow-up or book a meeting with a prospect, you can have that appear on your calendar. And you can sync files and documents to your Google Drive, OneDrive, or SharePoint folders. Pipedrive also has a marketplace, a bit like the App Store. This is where you can download and install apps to your Pipedrive account to connect other third-party tools in your tech stack. For example, if you want to add a power dialer, calling, or SMS functionality to Pipedrive, you can connect a tool like CloudTalk. If you use quoting software like Quotient, PandaDoc, or Quilla, these can be integrated through the marketplace. And finally, Pipedrive has a very powerful API. So if you want to build your own custom integrations or build powerful automated workflows using no-code tools like Zapier or Make, which we do for our customers all the time, you can just connect directly with Pipedrive's API. Number 8, and I'm treating this as a separate one because we get asked it all the time, can I integrate LinkedIn? Yes, you can. And the best way to do this is using a third-party app, which we recommend called Surf. In fact, we have a video we made about this app a little while ago, which we will link up here. Surf allows you to quickly create or update deals natively from LinkedIn without even leaving. It can also sync your messages and conversations, and you could create a lead list directly from Sales Navigator and import that directly to Pipedrive. Number 9, how do you use Pipedrive? Let me show you. Welcome to the Minico Pipedrive account. Now, we do actually have lots of deals that we're working on right now, but I've just used a filter up here to just hide them for privacy reasons. Now, at my company, we have a few different types of service that we sell, and so we have a few pipelines. Firstly, we have this consulting pipeline where we've got pretty typical sales stages. We meet new prospects, we book a meeting, gather more info, and then we make some kind of offer. This is what we can offer you. This is the service that we sell. And then when they agree, we move them to waiting for payment. And then finally, we win the deal. We also sell Asana and Pipedrive subscriptions or licenses. So this pipeline has slightly different stages because it's a different sales process. Following the same kind of idea, we make contact, confirm their interest, we send a quote, and then when we move to ready to proceed, we actually have an automation that creates activities for us to follow up. And then we, again, are waiting for payment. So let's say somebody reaches out to me and I need to create a new deal. I just do that by clicking the plus button up here, and I can create a new deal. So let's say I'm talking to James Dyson. I can very quickly create a new contact in here, and I can put in james@dyson.com's email. So I'm creating a contact person. I'm also going to create an organization to represent the business that I'm selling to. I can give this deal or opportunity a name. So let's say we're saying Dyson Pipedrive subscription. Actually, I have an automation that's going to override that in a sec. And then I can choose what stage of my pipeline to put them in. So let's say I've made contact for now, and I can fill in some of these other custom fields later. But this is all part of Pipedrive. You can customize like these selection fields, this drop-down field. This is what you can customize and personalize in your Pipedrive account. Deal source I could input here. How did they find us? James found me on YouTube. So there we go. Creating a deal is very quick and easy. Now, on the left-hand side, this is where we can customize Pipedrive and the information that I want to capture. So we have this subscription details section here. This is very unique to my business, of course. So James, I can say in this drop down here, hasn't signed up yet. We're selling him a new subscription. He's going to purchase an annual license from us, and we're going to start this next week. So all of these fields here we have customized for our sales process. Now, if I was to actually move this deal to, let's just move it to our consulting pipeline for a second, and I actually have to fill in this required field here. When I move it to a different pipeline, you can see these fields on the left have actually changed. And that's one of the really nice things I like about Pipedrive, is that you can have different customization and different fields for the different sales processes or sales journeys that you have. So I really like that. So I can fill in my information about the deal or opportunity here. I can also capture James's contact information, his phone number, title, etc. And I can capture information about the organization, like what plan they're on, how many seats they need, what subscription he's going to get, and so on. So that you can all customize. As I said earlier, you can capture all of your notes, emails, files in Pipedrive, and we do that here in the middle. So when I'm talking to a prospect, I can write my notes in here and save that note. This is great for quickly referring back to later. I can also schedule activities, and we've actually created quite a few custom activities for things like introductory calls, proposal presentations, follow-up calls, demo calls, support calls. We've created quite a few custom activities, and the reason for that is we can then report at the end of the month on things like how many intro calls did we do. So I can actually book an introductory call. Let's say we're meeting James at this time later this week. I could actually invite James as a guest, and I could make this a Zoom meeting if I want, because we use Zoom. And so when I send this invite, it's going to add this to my calendar, and it's actually going to send the invite to James as well. After I've completed this introductory call, I will mark that activity as complete, and then I will schedule my next action. So in this case, I'm going to create a scope of work maybe. So I'll do that after the call later this week. So I'm always setting what is my next activity or the next thing that I need to do to move this deal forwards. Throughout this sales conversation, I can move the deal through these various stages. So confirmed interest, quote sent, and actually let's put some products on this deal. So let's say, for my business, we're selling Pipedrive licenses. I can choose what plan James needs, and I can choose the quantity, and we'll put a discount in there for him as well. So by putting products on the deal here, I could actually then create a quote, and we have, if I use one of my templates here, we have invoices and quote templates which we've created using Google Workspace. Here's my template. It's actually a Google Doc, and I've got Pipedrive fields that are going to be filled in shortly, and I've got a product table here. So if I use this template to create my actual document, Pipedrive is going to grab the details from the deal, like the products, the person, and the organization details. And there we go. It's put in the organization name, it's put in the products that we're quoting, and then I could share this, I could download a PDF, share it as a link, or I could even request a signature. So we use that part of Pipedrive every single day for quoting and getting contracts signed. So I'll move the deal to quote sent, And then one of the other things we really like about Pipedrive is the automation. So when I move a deal, let's say to this ready to proceed stage, we have an automation that's going to run, that's going to create activities for Charmaine, our general manager. She needs to send our reseller agreement. So you can see that activity there popped up automatically just when I moved it into this stage. So this is great because it allows us to systemize our sales process, assign activities to the right person based on the stage that we are in. Now, at any time during the sales process, I might lose the deal. We've set up some predefined lost reasons here for common reasons why we might lose a deal. People don't respond, they go with a different option. But obviously we don't want to lose deals, we want to win deals. So once we win this deal, I can click one up there. I get a nice little celebration on the screen, and that's going to go into our reporting so we can see how much revenue we've captured for this month. And then we actually have some further automations that run. You can see additional activities popping up there, and we have an automation that's going to create a renewal deal because we're going to renew this license in 12 months. Oh, final thing I'll just show you here, the email integration I love and we use every single day. I have created quite a few sales templates and follow-up scripts that we like to use. So if we're sending a Pipedrive subscription quote, we've got this template that we use. And I love this because as the owner of the business, I can just create the templates and my team can just use the ones they need. And we're being very consistent and we're using the language that I prefer us to use. And question 10, how do I set up Pipedrive? If you're still with me and you've watched this far and you're ready to give Pipedrive a go, as I mentioned, request a quote from us. We will set up an extended trial account for you, and you can actually get started on your own if you like. We have hundreds of videos on this YouTube channel that explain how to get started and what features to use. I'll link up here our very useful Getting Started tutorial. It's an in-depth, step-by-step guide on how to set up and configure your account. And if you don't have time and if you just want to work with an expert to set it all up properly, correctly from day one without watching any videos, you can book an introductory call with us using the link in the description. We offer a done-for-you Pipedrive implementation and training service. We will build out your account, we'll set up all the automations, we will train your team and do all of the heavy lifting for you. And if you have a specific question about what Pipedrive can do, just ask me in the comments below. I respond to each and every one. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you very much for watching.